Play a clip. The mainstream news has a take, and they don't like Trump. And they're going to talk about how bad he did and how he embarrassed himself and how racist he is. Now, you watch and you tell me what the problem with their take is and what the clip they play is. You just tell me.
I want to bring back NBC's John Allen, Brendan Buck, and Michael Hardaway. Here in studio with me is Julie Roginski, Democratic strategist, co-founder of Lift Our Voices. John, well, how does this fit in to what at least the campaign wanted it to be, which is outreach to black voters?
Well, I mean, sometimes things are billed that way, and it's not actually what appears to be what the campaign or the candidate actually wants. You heard Donald Trump walk in there and immediately start calling the moderator rude. He was setting up a...
Hold on, they cut this. They've cut this. Okay, hold on.
Combative atmosphere. Certainly this could have gone a lot of ways. Anytime there's a reporter interviewing a president, a former president, a presidential candidate, there's some adversarial nature to that. Donald Trump certainly understands that. But he set this up as something that was not just adversarial but combative. Then he went into things about Kamala Harris's background, saying he didn't know if she was black or Indian, accusing her of at one point claiming to be Indian and then becoming black, as if she couldn't have heritage from multiple parts of the world or multiple races.
You know what?
Listen to all the papers flipping, by the way. What's going on?
Bring it up, John, and I'll let you continue, but we have that sound ready to go, so let's play it in case people didn't hear it the first time.
All right, here we go.
She was always of...
By the way, it's for people who don't know, when Kamala was like, Congresswoman Kamala, she was going to be the first Indian Congresswoman. She's going to be the first Indian Attorney General of San Francisco. She always said that. In interviews, you can go back. I mean, these are available. It was always Indian. Hit the like button. We don't even have a hundo.
Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black.
Now listen to the crowd. I hear laughs.
So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
She has always identified as a black woman. She went to a historically black college.
I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't, because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn and she became a black person.
Just to be clear.
Okay, so the reason they cut him off immediately is because he's killing. Okay, they're laughing their ass off. Now watch the take.
John, I'll let you continue there, but it was something that was commented on at the White House press briefing that somehow Kamala Harris became a black person.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously absurd and ridiculous and dumb and offensive and all of the things that people will throw around at it. But this is what Donald Trump wanted out of today. He has got, he's playing to his base. He's trying to push up the energy and excitement from white male.
By the way, why can't you become black? You can become a man. You can become a woman. Why can't you? I said this when Rachel Dolezal came out with all that shit and everybody went apeshit on her. No. You all said your identity is whatever you imagine it to be. But if it's about race, then it's hey, that you're co-opting. What's the word they always use? Appropriation. How come you're not appropriating male stuff when you become trans? How come it's the same? It makes no sense. It really makes no sense.
In the MAGA movement, he wanted this fight with black journalists. You saw that. He also wants to seize the news cycle. He has basically faded out of the news cycle over the past few weeks, particularly with the handoff on the Democratic side. And that's got to be frustrating him, somebody who's always been able to drive the news. So what does he do to get the news going again? He says something, obnoxious and controversial. So, he's getting what he wants right now. Viewers can hear what he said.
Yeah, he also, Michael, was asked to clarify his recent use of the term black jobs. Here's what he said.
I will tell you that coming from the border are millions and millions of people that happen to be taking black jobs. You had the best.
What exactly is a black job, sir?
A black job is anybody that has a job. That's what it is. Anybody that has a job.
All right.
Okay, so they have to cut it off again because people go crazy laughing. And what he means by that is like black people can do any job. So any job an illegal takes is a black job. And I think he framed it that way because he's talking to black people. He's trying to talk to black people, but he's killing and they have to keep cutting it off. And watch the next thing they do.
He also was asked, Michael, about whether the comments that have made that Kamala Harris is a DEI hire, and pressed on that. His answer was could be. Let me get your reaction.
No. He asked a reporter, what does that mean? What is a DEI hire? And she said diversity, equity, and inclusion. And he goes, yeah, that's the acronym, but what does it mean? And she was like, I just told you.
Action to those statements.
This was insane. And the reality is that
First of all, imagine a black person acting like Kamala Harris being a DEI hire is insane. I'm telling you right now, you're a race traitor. If you're a black person who thinks Kamala Harris is a good person, you're a race traitor. You're like, she's one of our finest? You're out of your mind.
the NABJ should have anticipated that this would happen. His entire goal, to John's point, is to go in front of this audience of black people and insult them to play to his MAGA base on the right.
Again, it's always these elite black people telling the audience full of black people who are laughing and clearly on Trump's side that, no, he's insulting you. He's not on your side.
It's horrifically insane. To that same group of people who are descendants of chattel slavery in America, he also said that his legal trials were the worst thing to happen in American history. And so this was a horrific situation that was completely preventable. And
so they're calling this whole convention that he spoke at a horrific situation.
It's a very sad thing for the NABJ and for this country.
It's a sad thing for this country, this convention he spoke at. This was so embarrassing. It was such a horrible situation.
There's a lot else here, Julie, that we could talk about. I think.
Okay, there's a lot more. Not only did he do the heinous things they've showed the clips of, there's more.
John touched on this. He not only called the first questioner rude but disgraceful, complained about being treated in a horrible manner since, quoting him, I love the black population. He was asked a number of times.
I can't believe he said that.
About his vice presidential pick, and talked about how he went to Yale and his personal story that many people know from his best-selling books. But when he was asked if J.D. Vance was ready on day one, his answer was, I've always had a lot of respect for him, and then went into how historically the vice presidential pick really doesn't matter much. Given a chance to say J.D. Vance would be ready on day one, he didn't take it.
Well, Donald Trump is not interested in uplifting anybody who's not named Donald Trump, right? So
wow.
J.D. Vance is whatever he is to Donald Trump. I guess a constitutional requirement he needs to fulfill, but he's never going to defend J.D. Vance because it's not about Donald Trump. It's not about J.D. Vance's grievances. It's about Donald Trump's grievances. Look, I will say, if you saw the way that he treated at least Rachel Scott on that stage, he speaks about women in a very particular way. They are nasty. They are rude. They are whatever they are.
So Donald Trump was on stage. He talked about women like they're nasty and rude.
Something that is worse than any man who ever speaks to him, right? And so you saw that misogyny come through over and over and over again.
We saw misogyny come through over and over and over again. Play a clip.
You're going to see that misogyny towards Kamala Harris. It's not enough that she's his opponent. She's a woman. She's a rude woman. She's an abrasive woman. Whatever she is.
I don't think she's rude. I think she's dumb.
She's not worthy of him, especially because she's a black woman, or at least he now acknowledges she's a black woman. You saw that with those journalists today. I'm so sorry that they felt the need to basically be used so that he could appeal to his MAGA base.
So those hosts felt used?
Because that's exactly who he's appealing to. The white men out there who are racist, who support him, who think that the way that they
everybody who supports Trump is a white male racist?
Get by is to treat women, and especially women of color, this way. This was not about the black people on the stage today. This was all about his white base, and it's a disgrace.
Brendan Buck, we only have 2 minutes left, but I want to give you some reaction from the Harris campaign that we're getting from one source familiar with the campaign's thinking. He is completely unhinged. This is also Trump. He cannot help himself. That person also reacted to Trump's comments, claiming that only recently Kamala Harris said she was black.
Okay, they've edited this a little bit. They took a part out where they go like, all right, we have a clip of him doing that. And then they go, oh, no, we don't. Okay, well, he did it. My whole point is like they do this like, and they showed you 2 clips that are like, yeah. And then, but they go like, and not only that, he was super misogynistic to the women the whole time he used them. He put down the audience. Why didn't you play that clip? Why not play that clip? I don't understand. So I saw that news story and I was like, huh, that's crazy. I didn't think anything else about it. I really didn't. And then this came up in my feed, I guess, because I watched that. Oh, wait, hold on. It might have been this clip. This might have been the better clip.
Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump both campaigning today with 97 days to go until the election.
The former president.
All right, yeah. Okay, so this is NBC News. Before it was MSNBC, here's NBC News. We literally, this guy got shot at, and it wasn't made a big a deal as they're going to make this stuff.
The president spoke at the National Association for Black Journalists, a conference happening in Chicago.
By the way, did you see that whole SWAT team came out and showed all the texts they were sending to Secret Service 90 minutes before? They had photos of the guy. They said he had a rangefinder. They said where he parked with the security, with the police, and snuck in. They watched him do it for 90 minutes. 90 minutes. And the Secret Service just ignored it. Nobody looked into him. No one's upset about any of this. No one's upset about any of this. And that's a local SWAT team. Released all the texts. They said, we told everyone. We had eyes on him. Everyone it was stand down. Don't worry about it. Nothing to see here. And then they lost him. Fuck it. Like, insane. And someone went and talked to him before. Like, I don't even believe in this level of, like, inside job conspiracy with a 20-year-old kid. But what the actual fuck? Like, what the actual fuck? And then the woman, like, wasn't going to step down. It's like, you're stepping down. You're stepping down. You may not know it, but you're stepping down. You fucking idiot. It's like, she was like, the buck stops with me. All right, so Trump comes out. What happened that you need to know? Because he tweeted this, or Truth did, or whatever. They kept him waiting backstage for 40 minutes. They couldn't get the sound working or something. And then he comes out, and this is how it starts.
Former president spoke at the National Association for Black Journalists, a conference happening in Chicago this afternoon. Mr. Trump was asked if Vice President Harris was only on the ticket because she is a black woman. Here is part of how he responded.
Here's part of how he responded.
She was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
Vice President
So they all do that. They cut him right away. You can hear people laughing.
Kamala Harris, of course, is biracial.
Yeah, let's bring in Hallie Jackson. She's NBC News' senior Washington.
I like how the black woman goes, Kamala Harris is, of course, biracial. Right.
Correspondent, anchor of Hallie Jackson Now. Hallie, that interview just happened within the last couple of hours, and it's already getting a lot of attention. It was heated from the start. He was contentious with the woman asking the questions. What else did we hear?
Yeah, listen, Kate, you're exactly right, Nzingle. Contentious really from the jump, coming out immediately and taking exception.
Show a clip.
To the question posed by Rachel Scott of ABC News, a journalist who covers Washington. And
look how contentious he is from the start. Coming out, swinging at her. So contentious.
Trump campaign, along with 2 other journalists who were on that stage. He played a little bit of one of the remarks that's getting a lot of attention regarding Vice President Harris's race and how she identifies. And I will tell you that based on our team's reporting here, those close to the vice president, those inside Harris world, are calling what happened at this National Association of Black Journalists conference a disaster.
They're calling what happened here a disaster. They're calling this a disaster.
I think we have a little bit more to play of the former president's interactions here on stage.
Okay, we have some more to play of him being, you won't believe it.
I think we actually do not have that, but
we don't have it, but you got to believe us.
I'll go on to tell you that he also talked.
But I'll go on to tell you what else he said. We don't have a clip of that. We don't have a clip of it, but let me tell you what he said. This is insane. This is insane. I don't know what's going on, but we are, I believe we're in a simulation. I posted to our Discord today, discord.gg/NLO. How about a boost? There's Kamala Harris does the same speech everywhere she goes. She gets a word salad phrase stuck in her head. You've all seen the clip of her saying that, what can be tomorrow unburdened by what was yesterday or whatever the fuck that thing is. She says a million times. Somebody put her speech side by side, two of her speeches from two cities. There's a heckler in the crowd at the same point in the speech who yells. So you can't hear what he yells, but are they like sending around a team to like, and then at a point in the speech, everyone stands up and like cheers. And she's not a good, she's not a good speaker. She's not like a charismatic leader. So I don't understand literally we went from hide this woman so she stops embarrassing this administration to, can you believe how strong and brave she is? Go look. If you think I'm crazy, go look at these two speeches synced up side by side and tell me we're not in some sort of weird ether net. All right. Anyway, I'm getting somewhere with this. Just wait. They all called this a disaster, horrible moment.
Talked about other topics, including what's getting some attention, remarks about his running mate, J.D. Vance. He was pressed repeatedly about those comments that his now current, of course, GOP vice presidential nominee said about people who do not have children, the description from 2021 of so-called childless cat ladies. And the former president, again, defended.
What's crazy is that they're able to, like, make all the same stupid idiots. Remember the meme of the woman who, like, fell to her knees when Trump won? Like, no! The woman with the glass, it's like all these women, like, knitted hats about it and marched on the Capitol until they got hungry. I don't, they all forget that nothing happened. What happened? Nothing? What happened? Nothing? Did nothing happen? Did you just go 4 years sailing through some of the best years of our country with no wars and no? Like, clearly you overreacted the first time. Clearly, like, look, again, I'm not saying you agree with the guy, but I think is more likely we've bred generations of spoiled, entitled bitches who don't know how to deal with, our colleges and our education system has taught all these kids they don't have to deal with authority. They don't have to deal with anything that makes them uncomfortable. We have cry rooms at Yale Law School for the fucking 22-year-olds. What? We're just building pussies. We're literally building pussies. I was thinking about this when I've been watching the Below Deck. The only ones who complain and cry and have this attitude, this I don't want to work, this lazy, it's always Americans. The South Africans are busting the ass. The Australians, for the most part, are busting their ass. Australians like American light. You can have some of them with a bad attitude, but like for Americans have the worst attitude. We all just think we get everything. We're entitled to it. And I'm one of them. I'm not saying I'm better than any of them. It just like we've forgotten how to like deal with anyone who thinks different than us. We don't know how to get along with somebody who used to be able to sit out on your porch like steel toe and have a beer with your neighbor and disagree. Like now we steal the signs out of their yard or move or vandalize their car. People are keying cars because of bumper stickers. I get it. Bumper stickers make you look like white trash. Don't do that. But like, when did we not be able to handle another opinion? Also one that's like very prevalent and popular. It's 50-50. It really is. like 50-50. And you can't handle that some people want Trump? Half to. Are you all right? But again, the most embarrassing thing is that you melted down last time and overreacted, and you're gonna do it again? We have to stop him. He's like a Hitler. You know, it just didn't say. Is he? Is he? Or will you just go about your life? Will you just go about your life? And maybe we'll stop some fucking wars and spending. Jesus Christ. I like shutting it down. I like locking it up. I like MAGA. I like that. Let's worry about us. We have people pissing and shitting in the streets and homeless people piling up everywhere you see. Yeah, let's focus on America. Is that xenophobic? Sorry. Lock the doors and clean it up. We'll open tomorrow when the floors aren't so sticky. That's a crazy concept to you? Stop letting people in who don't belong here and help the people who are already here who need help. No. Monster. It's going to be Armageddon.
Vance on this, and then also suggested that a vice presidential selection, in his view, does not really matter.
It doesn't. Do you think anybody voted for Kamala? You making your own point.
Kate and Zinkley, from a political perspective. He went on to say that other than, in his view, the initial bump that you get from announcing a running mate, typically people are...
Bro, he increased spending? First of all, they all increased spending, stupid. Have a look at the debt under Obama and let me know. Let me know who spends more. Let me know. They all spend. Not since Clinton have we balanced the budget.
Voting for who was at the top of the ticket.
And that was a joke.
As president and not for that vice presidential selection. So an interesting dynamic here. It's not something that you often hear. Somebody, saying that their running mate is irrelevant.
I don't mind spending. I'd like to stop sending $1 million missiles to both sides of two wars. Call me based. I don't mind spending. I'd like to stop supporting both sides of two wars. Call me crazy. Imagine helping both sides fight. We're gay. We're gay, dude. I mean, it's the most retarded thing you can do.
Relevant in the political sphere, but that is what the former...
We're literally selling sticks to both sides.
President suggested today. I will also note that we were just getting word in the last couple of minutes. You may have noticed if you watched that convention and all that.
We sell missiles to one side, and then we sell humanitarian aid to the other, and then we sell missiles to them while they're drinking while they're leveling up or replenishing their life, and then they shoot the other side, and then we go provide humanitarian aid. How about we let them all die? They seem to want to die. How about we pull out and let them die? Like, fuck. I'm going to be honest. Again, I don't give a shit about Ukraine. You don't either. The difference between me and you is I didn't make a wallpaper for my phone. Okay? You fucking nerd. Quit pretending like you're so vested in it. You're not even equipped to begin to wrap your head around the Ukraine-Russia war. Shut up and pass the mashed potatoes. Okay? I mean... You can't even imagine it. I'm going to listen to you. There's a college student skipping their algebra test to tell me about Hamas. Go to school.
Panel discussion. It was cut short somewhat abruptly. It started quite late, apparently, according to the former president's team, because of audio issues. And one of the journalists on stage suggested.
According to the president, they started late because of CPT, whatever that is.
That she also was having some audio issues there. That we were just hearing from the former president's team that they basically cut it short and moved on because they had a rally to get to. They're obviously in Pennsylvania tonight. They've got a key battleground rally there.
Battleground rally. Last time he spoke in Pennsylvania, what happened? All right, so two news stories. They both show one clip. What's the clip they show? Trump saying, "I didn't even know she was black. I didn't even know she was black." Okay. Well, then I was browsing my feed. I never heard of this guy in my life. He popped up. What was his name? The Benny Show? You ever heard of this nerd? The Benny Show. Anyway, it popped up. It said, you won't believe what happened. Trump goes beast mode at the Black Journalist Convention. And I was like, I watched 2 news clips, and they said he didn't go beast mode. They said that it was embarrassing and a disaster. And I don't know. Again, I don't know who this guy is. But I only watched it because he was showing longer clips of the event. And Trump's like murdering. Trump is murdering.
At the Lion's Den, the man.
Now remember, they want you to think like Trump really went there and insulted all the black people. It was a disaster. Now again, I don't care about anything this guy says. Look at this one. Trump just takes his reporter's water bottle, which is so good.
Water bottle here.
The best part is he doesn't even drink it. He just opens it to establish dominance. He opens it to let her know this is mine now.
Trump steals reporter's water bottle.
He grabs her water bottle, opens it, and just puts it back down. Just so you know, that one's mine.
Trump steals reporter's water bottle.
That's a power move. That's a fucking power move, and I'm in. Come on. Come on. That's great. That's fucking great. He just opened it and put it down. Yeah, it's got my white fingers stink all over it now, you old black bitch.
Oh, man. And she was going to need it because of this flamethrower, Donald Trump cooking, baby.
Elephant in the room, sir. A lot of people did not think it was appropriate.
So she thought she was going to be this poised, hard interviewer, and she was finally going to stick it to Trump.
For you to be.
Now, again, they only let a left talking head do this. Go watch real man on the street interviews with black people about how they feel about Trump and Kamala. First of all, they don't know who Kamala is. They don't. They don't. Everyone I've ever watched, like, who that? Who that? Okay, all right.
Here today. You have pushed false claims about some of your rivals, from Nikki Haley to former President Barack Obama, saying that they were not born in the United States, which is not true. You have told 4 congresswomen of color who were American.
See how emotional everybody is? You've made false claims that Barack Obama wasn't born in the United States, which is not true. Yeah, you already said it was false, journalist. You already said that was false. You don't have to let your emotions get in the way and remind everybody the false thing is not true. These are journalists.
Citizens to go back to where they came from. You have used words like animal and rabbit to describe black district attorneys. You've attacked black journalists, calling them a loser, saying the question...
Remember when he called Rosie O'Donnell a disgusting pig? But that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. We're only doing the black ones today.
...that they ask are, quote, stupid and racist. You've had dinner with a white supremacist at your Mar-a-Lago resort. So my question, sir, now that you are asking black supporters to vote for you, why should black voters trust you after you have used language like that?
Well, first of all, I don't think I've ever been asked a question in such a horrible manner. First question.
Do you hear them go crazy? He said, I've never been asked a question in such a horrible manner, and they lose it.
So, in such a horrible manner, first question. You don't even say, hello, how are you? Are you with ABC? Because I think they're a fake news network, a terrible network.
He's killing. They couldn't show you this. They couldn't show you this. They had to cut out one piece. Every news show cut out one piece and go, wow, everyone's saying it was a disaster. The black community knows he hates them. They're being used. The whole thing goes like this. The whole thing goes like this.
And I think it's disgraceful that I came here in good spirit. I love the black population of this country. I've done so much for the black population of this country, including employment, including opportunity zones with Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina, which is one of the greatest programs ever for black workers and black entrepreneurs. done so much. And, and I say this, historically black colleges and universities were out of money. They were stone cold broke. And I saved them, and I gave them long-term financing, and nobody else was doing it. I think it's a very rude introduction. I don't know exactly why you would do something like that. And let me go a step further. I was invited here, and I was told my opponent, whether it was Biden or Kamala, I was told my opponent was going to be here. It turned out my opponent isn't here. You invited me under false pretense. And then you said, you can't do it with Zoom. Well, where's Zoom? She's going to do it with Zoom, and she's not coming. And then you were half an hour late. Just so we understand, I have too much respect for you to be late. They couldn't get their equipment working, or something
Mr.
was
President,
wrong.
I would love
think
if
it's
you
a
could answer
very
the
nasty question.
And why you
I have
believe that
answered
black
the
voters
question.
should trust you with another
I
4
have
years.
been the best president for the black population since Abraham Lincoln. That's my answer.
Better than President Johnson.
And they go crazy. He's like, so the news can't handle the truth. This woman hosting the panel can't handle the truth. Everyone sitting there fucking clapping. He's right. He's right. She started it with this attack. She didn't say sorry for being late. Mr. President, thank you for your time. We know you're very busy. And another thing, Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden code switch. I just noticed while watching this, he doesn't code switch. If you don't know what that is, it's when Hillary Clinton gives a speech on the border and goes, now we're gonna go have some tacos and burritos. Bye-bye. It's when Biden goes, I'll tell you what, I don't. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Jack, I'm not corn pop out. Yeah, it's when they start talking black because they're around blacks. It's when they start talking Hispanic because they're around Hispanics. He doesn't do it. He sounds exactly like Trump. He doesn't start using ebonics because he's speaking to black people. Watch every other politician. Watch them do it.
Sign the Voting Rights Act.
For you to start off
and they're all on his side. It's so good.
Question and answer period, especially when you're 35 minutes.
Pat, just because Hillary and Joe suck, does that make him good? No, but we have to pick turd sandwich or douche. I'm going to go with the guy who at least I think believes what he's saying. Again, I don't know if I don't agree with Trump. I'm not a giant Trump fan. This rules. This rules. They all lie. One of them isn't insulting to my intelligence. Every fucking news channel goes on and tells you what a disaster this was and how he insulted the black population, and they all knew that he wasn't on their side. Watch it. Watch it. They couldn't even show you more clips of it because he's destroying. He's killing. They love him. It's not true. It's not true. They're telling you the economy's good. Gas is down. It ain't. It ain't. I paid almost $7 a gallon in Tahoe. Now, again, as soon as I got across the Nevada border, it dropped $3. That's just California taxes. But that's what they want to do to everything. And then they'll come on and they'll tell you it's not high prices. You're doing great. The economy's never been better and stronger. And I'm the best president you've ever had. And if the other guy gets in, things are going to get worse. It's insulting to my intelligence. So again, people who go stop listening to the news are basic bitches. They're basic bitches. They again, it's Dunning-Kruger. You know enough to not know enough. Don't stop watching the news. Don't stop watching the news. That's propaganda. Stop believing the news is what I think you should say. Don't stop watching it. Pay attention. Because again, I wouldn't have gone and seen the rest of this. I watched the two news stories and I was just like, Jesus, sounded like that got a big pop when he did that Kamala thing, but they said it was a disaster, embarrassing. He insulted everybody. He was rude. He started it off angry. I mean, it just, when you watch the whole thing, it's not what it seems. So do I think one of them's great? No, I think they're all liars. I think they're all crooked. They all made tons of money off vaccines during COVID, both Trump and Biden. They all lie. They all lie. But again, I was paying attention. I said it early on, like, yesterday the pharmaceutical companies were the devil. Today there are heroes? I don't understand. So, yeah, again, Trump doesn't come out and tell me eggs are cheaper than they've ever been. Trump doesn't come out and tell me the economy is doing great. The other side constantly comes out and tells me that the sky is gold and the grass is purple. I have eyes.
Because you couldn't get your equipment to work in such a hostile manner, I think it's a disgrace.
Let me just ask a follow-up, sir, and then we'll move on to other questions here.
I would love 2 other candidates if you want. Yes. Do I think Trump rules? No. I would like 5 candidates from 5 equally sized parties. But we're too stupid as a country to let that happen. It'll just the 2 parties are incentivized to keep every other party out. They work together on that. That's a fact.
Baby, this is vintage.
I don't know
Donald Trump. Who's asking the questions? The face you make when you think you trapped Trump and he switched it back on you, and the black audience cheers.
Right.
Yeah. Oh man, it was a wild one. So President Trump then steals her water bottle. And so, for sure.
Some of your own supporters, including Republicans on Capitol Hill, have labeled Vice President Kamala Harris, who is the first black and Asian American woman to serve as vice president and be on a major party ticket, as a DEI hire. Is that acceptable language to you? And will you tell those?
By the way, he did announce that he was gonna pick a black woman. So that he did the same for his Supreme Court pick. We're gonna pick the best black woman we can pick. Now they didn't, but this is my whole point. By definition, she's a DEI hire. When you go, we're gonna hire a black woman, and when you make that announcement, you're retarded.
Republicans and those supporters to stop it.
How do you define DEI? Go ahead.
Watch this.
How do you define
diversity, equity, inclusion?
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Is that what your definition?
That is
give me a
literally
definition.
the word.
She goes, that is literally the words. She has no idea what a definition is. I bet she doesn't know what an acronym is.
Would you give me a definition
DEI.
of that? Give me a definition of that.
Sir, I'm asking you a question,
No,
a
you
very
have to
direct
define
question.
it. Define it for me, if you
I
would.
just defined it, sir. Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is only on the ticket because she is a black woman?
Well,
Yeah, no, I believe she's only on the ticket because she's stupid and she's there. I believe she was only the vice president because she was a black woman. Yeah, so I guess if you extrapolate it out, yes. But
I can say, no, I think it's maybe a little bit different. So I've known her a long time indirectly, not directly very much. And she was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
She has always
But you know
identified
what?
as a black woman.
I
She went to a
respect
historically
either
black
one.
college.
I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't, because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn and she became a black.
it's not bullshit, too. Again, you can go back and look. Go back and look. She always, when she talked about herself until she got into the White House on the ticket with Joe Biden, she always said she was Indian.
Just to be clear, sir, do you believe
I
that
think
she is
somebody should look into that too when you ask continue in a very hostile, nasty tone.
It's a direct question, sir. Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is a DEI hire, as some
I
Republicans
really
have
don't
said?
know. I mean, I really don't know. Could be. There are some, and there are plenty. I know this lady right over there, Harris, is a fantastic person who just interviewed me at length. And we had a great interview, I think, and I heard you got very good ratings on that
Well,
interview.
you told me it was the longest one of your life, so we had a good discussion.
Okay.
So that's another host on the stage who interviewed Trump before this, who likes Trump and gets along with Trump and is really shitting on the First Lady's point.
Okay. Listen, I don't really know how else to.
Oh, yeah, look at this. Kamala brags about becoming the first Indian senator in American history. When it's convenient, she's Indian because she's very light-skinned. But, you know, again, the darker you are now, the more frequent flyer miles you get.
Is that Kamala Harris, for the early part of her career, ran Harris.
Not good.
So don't come for me, all right? Come after the Sacramento Bee, right? Who was the local paper.
Indian American.
For Kamala Harris. Not mine. He was the American senator. Happened just about.
I'll do it again.
Mr. President, how do you
a cognitive exam?
you, but would you consider taking the cognitive test? Mr. President,
I would love to
and
do
make
it.
it public.
Well, I've already taken 2 of them, but I'll do it again.
Mr. President, how do you intend to...
I suggested, Harris, that let's take one. I said, Joe and I will go and take a cognitive test. Now, I'd do it with her, too. I would do it with her also. You know what? She failed her law exam. She didn't pass her law exam, so maybe she wouldn't pass the cognitive test.
Mr. President, are you saying she wouldn't pass? Just to be clear,
So he's saying that for people that don't know, who was she fucking? Who was Kamala Harris fucking? R. Kelly?
He can be president. Isn't that nice?
Mr. President,
but they really can't stand trial. And yet, isn't that something? He's incompetent and he can't stand trial. And yet...
That was a real thing that they said, by the way, in that report. In that, like, special prosecutor report against Biden for the laptop and all that shit. They literally said in it that Biden was too incompetent to stand trial. But he can hold the nuke codes? I don't, like, we really are, like... The crazy thing is that the American people hear that and go like, yeah, it's fine. I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to eat? What are you going to do? Yeah, he's not competent enough to stand trial, but he's president.
He can be president.
Oh, sorry, Montel Williams. I was thinking Montel Jordan. Hold on, she fucked Willie Brown, the mayor. Yeah, she had an affair with him while he was married. And then she got her attorney general position after that, even though she failed law school. I'm pretty sure Donald Trump calls the shots in the Donald Trump sphere by how many people get fucking fired by him on the reg. Now, again, is that a good thing to keep firing everybody around you? Is not a complete sycophant? No. No one gets fired in the Joe Biden campaign. He has no idea what's going on. And if you think Joe Biden's a dumb puppet, we're about to get like a dumber puppet. Why do they want Kamala all of a sudden? She again, when you go back and look at like all the primaries, she got no votes. No one wants Kamala. No one. And she's a heartbeat away from being president of the United States. And you can go, well, if nobody wants her, then nobody will vote her in. I mean, I would like to agree with you, but that's not the way the world works. Again, you have 2 pills, and a lot of people vote just so the other pill doesn't get eaten. We're just in a weird fucking place. But I know that Trump's probably called the shots in the Trump universe, and Kamala Harris is a puppet that has no idea. Remember, she didn't go to Europe for the first time until 2021. She'd never been to Europe. So she's going to go handle meetings with diplomats and hobnob and shake hands with world leaders. She's going to be at the G8 putting policy together. She has no business doing that. Just like I don't. And again, I'm smarter than Kamala Harris. Fact. I assume you're smarter than Kamala Harris. I hope, for your sake. Do you know the words to Wheels on the Bus? Do you know the melody? You're smarter than Kamala Harris.